Hi, my name is Mary White and this is my professional dispositions video. So let's just dive right in. The first question, what dispositions do you possess that make you a successful teacher? I believe that as a teacher I'm able to identify various areas of needs for my students and find the most effective way to enable all of those learners. So I have a few students who don't speak any English at all and they scored in around the second percentile on some testing. And then I have students who really are ready for first grade already in the second semester of K-5. They've scored in the 85th to 99th percentile and they just get bored in class. So that's making it more challenging for me as a teacher because I'm having to find out ways to enable all of these learners where I'm not losing the low kid because they have no idea what's going on, but the high kid also isn't bored because they already know the answers to everything. So that's been a really fun challenge for me as an educator this past year. And while I'm still a new teacher, I've only been teaching for a year and a half, I can see how impactful it can be in the whole school environment when co-teachers and peers and mentors are all willing to work together and collaborate. I feel like that makes us better together rather than just having an individual here and an individual there. When we really come together and pool our ideas, we can see the growth in all of our students and as a school. So for example, my co-teacher, she is excellent at utilizing different resources both in her classroom and at home. She's constantly finding new things that she can use, whether it's a new app or a new website or a new game on her smartboard. There's just all kinds of things. She's constantly looking for ways that she can make it better for her students and more engaging. And that's pushing me to become better as an educator, because she's giving me more ideas. While I don't have a smartboard in my classroom, I do have classroom iPads that I'm still able to use, and I am finding new ways to make those more effective so the kids aren't doing the same things over and over again and getting bored. I also feel like I'm a lifelong learner. I've always enjoyed getting that constructive feedback from my principal especially. She's been really, really helpful this past year and a half. Fresh out of college, I really had no idea what I was doing. I knew I wanted to be a teacher, got in my classroom. Turned out I had no idea what I was doing. But every time she came and observed me, she always gave me that constructive feedback that I needed. And I've already seen so much growth in myself through that. The dispositions that I need to work on as an educator are the expectations that I set for my students. I do sometimes forget that they are only 5. And that can be difficult and make me feel like I may not be doing my job when my students are reaching our classroom goals and expectations, but it is because I'm setting the expectation or the bar too high for those kids. So we take these MAP tests 3 times a year. It stands for Measuring Academic Progress. And the test doesn't affect their grade in any way. It's simply data for the teachers to use that helps us figure out what the students are ready for, to what they're ready to learn next, or what we may need to go back and reteach. So when I use this data, it's really helping me to kind of hold the reins and pull back on those expectations that I may be setting, and I can make a more realistic prediction or a more realistic put steps into place that will help us get to those goals so I don't feel like I am failing them as a teacher and not helping them progress in the best way possible. And I also would like to be more intentional about getting my students involved in setting classroom goals. I have certain goals that I have for the kids and for us as a class, but I need to hear the kids' input because theirs could be totally different from mine. Maybe they want to be better at reading so we could focus more on reading. Maybe they want to be better at math so we could focus more on math. But I feel like as a young educator and a growing educator, it's better for me to realize these things now and to start working on them rather than being more stagnant later on in my professional career. My expectations of a professional in the field of education and how I uphold these expectations. My expectations of professionals as teachers is to be fair and understanding of everyone, not just my students. We need to take that time to understand our students and the various situations and backgrounds they may be coming from because that will affect them at school. A lot of kids here in China, they don't see their parents a lot. So sometimes they may come to school and have a bad day. They don't get along with their grandparents who are raising them. They haven't seen their parents in 3 months, and they don't even know what country they're in. And that really does affect the kids, especially at such a young age. So as a professional, it's vital for me to be able to understand that and to have compassion for those students. We also need to be understanding of our peers and mentors. There's going to be situations that will arise throughout the year, and some of these situations could be far beyond what we could ever comprehend. And it's important for us to just be loving and love us the same way that, love others the same way that Christ loved us. And be that light and the salt of the earth. And we need to be encouraging to those and be able to pick up on their cues. Maybe they're having a rough day and need to give them a little bit of space. But the main thing as a professional in this field of education is that we need to be fair and understanding to everyone and give everyone their opportunity to be successful.